Okay, great. So starting out with our standing poses, let's start. If you're okay with your right leg up there first, let's try that. And holding onto the handholds, we're just pulsing forward and back. So we're on video chat with our friends in Italy. So you'll hear me talking to no one because they're on my headset. So you'll just hear me, but you'll see me pause and take a moment to have a conversation if there's any questions over there. We love Google Chat. It's working well for us to have our sessions all the way over to Italy from California. Okay, so we are going to open up the hamstring first. I'm holding on to my leg loops now, the very top of them where the webbing meets the fabric. Okay, and this is going to allow me to have a little bit more dynamic play because it requires more balance. There's more play from side to side. It's a little bit easier than the handholds just because holding our hands above our heads for long periods of time can be difficult. So I want you to lean all the way back. So come all the way back and kind of bow, get centered, bow into the standing leg. So you're stretching your whole spine all the way back. It should feel really, really good. Now you have to make sure that the swing doesn't come flying off, so keep your foot engaged. Right, so is this nice on your back? Can you feel your whole back stretched, Barbara? Yeah, feels so good. Okay, great. And then we're going to pull ourselves forward, kind of do like a little bit of a bicep curl and lean all the way forward. Stay in the bicep curl. It's really nice to have something to hold on to for balance. And then see how far you can go. We're just getting warmed up, so not too much, but press forward. Press forward as much as you can. I'm up on my tippy toes. My toes are pointed forward, and I'm getting a nice stretch there. And then why don't we just go ahead and bend the knee. Keep pushing forward, but bend the knee. We're sliding up, depending on your clothing. We're just going to slide right into a lunge. And then we're just going to pulse forward. So we're pulsing here. Just tiny little micro movements to open up the hip flexor on the left side. And then I'm going to keep holding on, and I'm going to lean back one more time. Let's just try it. Lean all the way back. So we're pulling the knee towards the chest and then slightly rounding the back here because we're trying to stretch the spine. And then the next time we pull forward, bicep curls, lean forward. Now I'm going to roll my left heel down. Okay, my toes are pointing out towards the left. So I'm going to get my right hand free so I can put my elbow on my knee. So all of a sudden we're twisting and looking towards the left side, left arm towards the sky. Lean back into the swing. Just notice the support there. It feels really good to just, you can even hook and hold on, but you don't need to hold on. It's more just there for support. That top arm can reach for the swing. Awesome. Now the idea is that we're opening up the side body. So go ahead and then bring your arm overhead, right? And put your fingertips to the front of the room. That looks great. All right. And then we're going to go a little bit further. Bring your arm back up towards the sky and hold on to the swing now. Straighten the front leg and see if you can grab for the foot. This is a pretty advanced warm-up, but we're going to really stretch and open the legs today and then activate the core and then maybe try a couple flips. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. All right. So release that foot, bend the knee, come back towards center. So point your toes forward. Lean forward. Let's go ahead and wiggle through. Get the arms in there. Balance. And then just see if you can straighten the front leg one more time. Now, you're kind of spring-loaded, so make sure your left toes are grounded. And then reach forward for the foot. Oh, yeah. That's a big stretch. Right? Nice flat back, straight arms. And then back up towards the sky. Go ahead and hold on to the swing. Press it back down. Nice smooth transitions. Really good. And now what we're going to do is we're going to stretch the calf. We're going to flex the toes back. Push the swing away. There's about a gazillion things we can do with the standing poses in translation in the swing. Anything you do in a yoga class, standing pose-wise, we could do it in the swing and come up with our own version. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our right hand and wrap it around and grab for the left side of the swing. Open up the toes to the left again and just try and balance. So it's okay to hold on. That's 100% okay. You can also release your hand and then try to balance or grab for the toes, right? So opening up to the side, you can look back towards your fingertips behind you. So it's a nice way to practice the balancing and the standing poses without falling over or straining. And then go ahead and hold back onto the swing, both hands. Turn your toes forward. Take the left arm and wrap it around. So you wrap it around both sides of the swing just for extra support, so it's in front. So when I grab, I'm going to keep that right leg engaged, and then I'm going to let my gaze go back towards my right fingertips, and I twist and I open, and it feels amazing. Super intense. This is a big pose. And then I'm going to come back through, forward, wrap both arms around, grab the elbows, and slide down, slide down. Keep the foot flexed. That's right. Ooh la la. Big stretch of the back. You can hold on to the foot there. Okay? Really good. Holding on to the swing, I'm going to bend the knee out to the side. You can kind of hop towards center. Make sure you're feeling balanced. Really good. So there's a couple different ways I can do this. I like to hook the heel. Just hook the swing over the heel as well, and it just gives a little bit more support. Yeah. Now the right knee is level with the earth, and you can actually assist that hip open by pressing down gently. That's a big stretch, so be gentle. Most people are going to be up here like this. It's okay. If you can help assist the knee down for a floating pigeon, that would be great. Now if you're up for a floating position, we reach up and grab for the handholds. Okay, I like using a wrist wrap. You can hold on with your fingers if you like. Wrapping it around your wrist is a little bit easier. And then we're going to float. So the I Dream a Genie is just pulling the left knee up towards the foot. You can hook it on top as well. And it's just a little bit of playtime. Just for fun. But you can feel your core engaging, and you can also feel a great stretch through the arms. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and extend the leg. We're still floating. Oh, yay. And then play a little bit with shifting from side to side. This is a little bit more of an advanced sequence. We start out with beginner, but then when we get to the floating, our friends that are a little bit older or not quite ready for acrobatics would find this intimidating. So we just take it nice and slow. We land it, right? Really good. I want to try turning over into Nataraj from here. Like I said, there's so many places that we could go, but these are my favorites that I'm showing you today. So my left toes turn out to the left. I'm taking it slow. When I bend the right knee, I pull it in towards the chest and then roll down. And then my gaze goes towards the back of the room. Now I have to change my handhold. So both hands are holding on to the swing, but I have to let go of the handholds and switch position. Now from here, it's a big shoulder opener. I'm going to reach back. My thumbs are pointing down. I grab for the swing and I pull up. So Nataraj, very challenging. Back bend. Opening up the quad, only go as far as it feels good for the shoulders and the back today. Nice deep breaths. Focus on your balance. Okay, so come back up to stand when you're ready. Play with that for a few breaths. Release the swing and hold on to the leg loops. Slide your hands down through the center of the leg loops to hold on to the bottom, and then fully extend for Warrior 3. Okay, so even though I'm facing away from you, you can pretty much see the alignment. I'm extending my arms and my legs. It is an amazing stretch. And then from there, I'm going to come back up and just release my foot. So if I don't have my foot flexed, the swing will pop off. Okay, so we're going to come back through center and just release the foot, and then we come to stand. We could just reverse it and turn it over and turn it around, but yeah, if you release the foot, Barbara, there you go. It's a little bit harder to reverse it, so releasing the foot is the easy way. Okay, we're going to come to second side. So come to stand. I like starting out with my hands on the handholds so I can get that swing. I have to get the big swing forward to get my left leg up there. We want to do that as graceful as possible, but also have some fun with it. People do find that difficult. So the first thing I'm going to do is just lean back. Ooh, it feels so good. Lean back and wiggle the hips a little bit. Just stretch the long muscles of the spine. So good, yeah? Nice, and then just pulse forward. Now I'm still using my hand holds, but you'll notice that the hands are getting a little tired. They'll just tell you. So at that point, after this, just the next breath, just know that we'll change. Don't go too far, because we don't want to strain. We just want to get that nice long stretch, practicing for splits. And now I want you to slide your hands down the webbing, past the carabiner to the top of the fabric. So where the webbing meets the fabric, we're going to hold on. And now that we're holding on to the leg loops, we can go a little bit deeper. So now lean back and notice that you get a much bigger stretch. And again, just take a moment. You can even bow in, stretch the nervous system along the spine as well. You'll feel the nerve stretch then. And then we do a bicep curl to pull ourselves up, and we lean forward one more time. Go up onto your tippy toes, make a wish, see how far you can go. It's a big stretch. Roll your toes around. I always unwind the tension in the legs by rolling my ankles. Okay? One more time, go ahead and lean back. Straighten the arms. Tuck in. Wiggle. Wiggling is always good. We have some play from side to side as long as you feel like your hands can hold on. And then go ahead and do the bicep curl. Pull yourself forward one more time. Even try bringing the wings out. That feels good on the shoulders too. I'm pulling my hands back behind me. Beautiful. And then go ahead and just bend the front leg. Hopefully we'll do the same sequence on both sides. We'll see how it goes. So when you bend the front leg, you can notice that you're in a forward lunge, which feels really good. I'm holding onto the swing now. Just naturally transitioning. I could still hold on to the leg loops. Now, just practice this. Hold on to the leg loops and notice that there's a little bit more play, right? So if we wanted to come into some spinal twists, we could use the leg loops and play with that too. I'm going to try to be consistent. Like I said, there's a gazillion things we can do here. But get in the swing and play. You know, take your time. It's always fun to follow a sequence, but it's also great to just take your time and explore. Okay, so after we have enjoyed our rowing, we're coming back to the swing. Now, it's a diagonal, right? So we're pressing forward. So notice the difference between here and here. Come all the way forward, right? Then roll your right heel down. Make sure you feel centered. The swing will pull you off center if you're not. Left elbow is going to find the knee. Right hand reaches towards the sky. Now I'm pressing back into the swing to open the heart because this is a side body stretch. So we're opening up. I don't have to hold on to the swing for this one. I'm just really lengthening, and then I can bring the arm up overhead. Should feel really, really good. Okay, keep stretching it out. And then from here, I'm going to reach my arm back up and hold on to extend the leg. When I extend the left leg, it requires a little bit more balance. I can actually do it without holding on, but it's hard. And then I just hold on to the toes. Now, if you want to try the most advanced version, you're going to reach both arms overhead. Grab for the foot with both hands and twist towards the sky. Oh la la. That's a big stretch. Okay. We return the foot. That's beautiful. Good job, Barbara. Toes are pointing forward, forward fold. And we're going to just do one more stretch here. So the swing is on the inside of my shoulders. It allows me to balance. And then I'm going to grab for the foot. There's several different ways to do this. Just make sure that it's comfortable in your collarbones when you reach forward. It is soft and stretchy material, but it's still intense. Beautiful. And then I'm going to come back. So when I come back, I'm just going to hold on to the swing and press my legs straight again. There's a couple different pushing and pulling in the space. Pulsing, I call that. So see if you can press make sure you're plugging the femur into the hip socket as you press the foot away and flex the foot back so you'll get a nice calf stretch here. And notice there is some play in the balance, so stay grounded, okay? And now you can pull. You can pull a little bit more. I like to actually wrap my arms around and slide down. I think it feels really good. And then maybe even hold on to the foot. Make sure you're leading with your chest and not your head. Your head stays in line with your body instead of bowing in. It's a totally different pose. Okay? Inhaling, coming back up. Reaching up. We can bend the foot out to the side. I just like to come to center. So if you just go straight up and down, the swing will show you where your plumb line is. I also like to hook the foot here. So when I hook the foot, it just gives a little bit more stability to press out. It's totally okay bunched up at the ankle, just like that extra support at the heel. And now my knee, notice the difference, is pointing down towards the earth. I keep my foot flexed back so the knee is happy. Now notice that one side might be different than the other, right? Maybe a little different. So can your left hand help you find the opening? Find that rotation in the hip socket. And wherever you are is 100% okay. Just go ahead and help and assist the body. You're like, thank you. Yes, always 100% okay. All right. So take a nice deep breath. Just hang out here. Okay. Okay, yeah, tell me later. Sometimes we have injuries in the body and there's old injuries, and you can feel it in some of these poses. And when we discover something like that, we encourage the body by hanging out there for a while. So the more that we allow ourselves to hang out in the poses, the deeper we can go. And the swing allows for that kind of gentleness. Now let's find our hand holds, right? Let's do a wrist wrap. So we're reaching all the way up. And then we're going to pick up the bottom leg so we can float. And this is called I Dream a Genie, which just is a fun, playful, silly name. I feel like a genie whenever I do this. Now notice if you don't hook the foot, it's harder. We're using our core to pick up that right leg. And I'm pressing the knee into the foot so the left knee can flare open a little bit. Or you can just swing that right foot on top, and this is the nice, easy version. Lots of different versions. You can just play a little bit in the space. Now this is what I do in my own practice. I'm gonna straighten the left leg, and I'm still floating. Okay, so we're getting a nice shoulder stretch. I'm gonna twist a little from side to side, maybe explore in the space a little bit. Who knows what will happen? Now, and in our advanced practice, we would also start to kick up, right? So I'm gonna bunch the swing and make sure it stays, but we would start to kick up. We're not doing that quite yet, but I just want to show you that there's ways to move into the acrobatics after we get the hips open, after we get the leg stretches, after the body's happy. I did bunch the swing up at the arch of the foot just so it didn't slide, but now I'm going to return it to where it was on the ankle. Okay. And so let's go ahead and open up the side body. I turn my right toes out to the right. I'm going to slide down. Your hands probably need a break. Love them up if your hands need a break. I'm going to hold on to not the left side of the swing, but around the left and grab the right. And notice that gives you more stability. My gaze goes back behind me, and I'm opening up. So as I open up, I'm practicing my balance. I'm pulling in, so my left foot is lifting, and then I might grab for the toes, either inside or outside the swing. And just see if you can hold it. See if it feels good to find your own balance with the support of the swing. I like these poses a lot. All right, toes turn forward. We hold on with both hands. Bring your toes with you. It's very important to bring the toes. So the right hand wraps around, holding on to the far side of the swing. So my right hand goes around one side and then hooks the far side, right? And that allows me to pull in. So we could do that without hooking, but I like the hook. I like that extra stability. Then I can look back behind me. So my gaze is going over the left shoulder towards my fingertips. And we're staying balanced. We're not leaning forward. That's a different pose. We're staying balanced, right? So hip is stacking right over the ankle. Beautiful. And then leaning forward, one more forward fold. Woo. Flex the foot back, see if you can hook. Really good, guys. Okay, one more pose, right? So, nataraj. So, what I like to do here is I'm gonna hold on to the swing to bend my knee in and then flip it over. Flex the foot back right away or you'll lose. You will lose your swing. It'll come bouncing off and then you just start over again. Okay, so I'm holding on to the top of the swing. Notice my transition was slightly different there. It's okay. So if I want to go deeper, my thumbs are pointing down towards my shoulders. I'm going to lift up. I like to wiggle down as far as I can. Right? I'm bunching up the swing. I lift up, so the foot is coming towards the sky. Standing leg can be bent or straight. The idea is just to get a big shoulder opening. Open up the quad. Beautiful. Just remember you're spring-loaded, so be careful coming in and out of this one. Big stretch, and then come back to stand first, and then I want you to switch to your leg loops. Okay? So the first thing you can do is bend the standing leg a lot and drop down. This would be an easier nataraj if the shoulders aren't happy with the big one. And then you're gonna slide your hands down through the center of the leg loop so you're catching at the bottom and lean forward, coming into a warrior three. Straight arms, straight legs. Drop the chest towards the ground and open up the shoulders. This is a big stretch. Feels so good. If you want to try airplane wings for warrior three, that's also very hard. And then go ahead and come to stand. So to come to stand, I bend the left knee in. And then with my flex foot, I just lift. And then the swing comes out. So just release your foot. Bend your knee in. So Barbara, come back to your nataraj and let's try it. You good? So come, okay. So come back to nataraj. And now just point your toes towards the sky. Point your toes towards the sky. No, keep the knee bent. Point your toes towards the sky and release the swing. Yes. way easier than you're making it. It's okay. Sometimes we can get a little tangled up in there. So that's a big chunk of the standing sequence that I really like. Is there any questions that you have over there, Barbara? Anything you want to go over again? All right. So let's put the swing behind our back. Let's go ahead and sit straight down. Wiggle a little bit from side to side. I'm just going to adjust the video to make sure that we have my feet in the picture now. It's a slight adjustment. Okay, great. Yes. Thank you for shifting down, Barbara. Now I can see you. All right. So we're wiggling from side to side, just gently, just slightly. I like to use the round mats. I also have a sacred geometry rug that informs my movements underneath me. I just like the visual of it. So let's just keep focusing on hips and swaying from side to side. I am going to have us come through the Black Swan sequence just a little bit, okay? We'll see how it goes. Every time we do something different, but let's find our marionette hands. So I'm pushing down, right? So my upper body is engaged, my lower body is relaxed. Find the balance between engaged but relaxed in the swing. Now notice how your hips feel after starting with the leg movements, okay? Just totally different. I feel like, oh, great. I'm so good. Our friends in Italy like the warm up a lot. Beautiful. Let's heel toe the feet together. Wiggle it to center. Release the leg loops. Go ahead and bring the arms up overhead. Supported back bend, weeping willow. Open up the heart. We're going to activate our core next, but this is our transitional pose. Now you can always go into chillaxing arms. Pay attention to your neck talking to you, and if your neck wants more support, that's totally fine. Okay, the fullest expression would be hands clasped together and overhead. Do what feels right for today. And then what I want to do is I want to just help the swing into the waist, and I'm going to hook the left leg around, swing the right leg out to the side. Okay, so the swing has to get a little bit lower around the waist in order to lean back. So I just did that little trick, that little adjustment. And so my right leg can explore in the space, yeah? But we let it land all the way out. Decide, I know, this is fun too. This in itself is a great stretch. So let's go ahead and activate our core with some plank toe touches. My right hand holds on to the swing, my left hand leans back. So when I lean back, I'm gonna pick up that right foot. So plank, right? That's the plank part. And then I'm gonna exhale and squeeze, that's the toe touch. So make sure you're touching your toes, bending at the hip flexor and not the waist, and do 10 of those on this side. Nice. 5 more if you can. Really take it slow so you're getting the activation. Don't miss the good stuff. Nice. It's good to breathe on the exhale. And then after your 10th one, I want you to come into dancer. So extend the arm and leg and arch. Stretch. I'm still holding on with my right arm for now. So if you can bend that right knee, swim your arm back, hook the ankle, then you can let go of your right and come into either one hand or both hands stretch. So expand the belly. Don't go too far, find what's right for you. Maybe one hand is enough. Okay. Switch it up and see which one you like best. Focus on the back bend, focus on the heart, focus on the shoulders. We're also opening up the quad. You're spring loaded, so slowly release. Let's transition upside down. So wrap that right leg around, come through our peaceful warrior. Release left leg out to the side, and then swing it in front. When you come to sit, the leg will be all the way out to the right. Yeah, really good. Nice transitions, Barbara. You're doing great. Okay, good. So go ahead and just pick up that bottom leg and just let it explore in the space and see how that feels on the hip. Again, there's so many different ways to play. It's really nice to just pause and explore in the swing and not just have it be exercise, but it is fun. We are here to have fun. The other thing I like to do is grab for the foot. So my right hand comes behind me. I grab for the foot and I bend the knee. So try that. Oh yeah. So that really gets into the hip flexor here. So good. Fantastic. All right. So then plank toe touches. All right, I keep holding on with my left. I lean back. See if you can exhale on the way up. Sometimes making sound is really helpful. So inhale to plank, exhale, toe touch. Make sure you're coming into plank and not dancer yet. Use the whole core activation. This will cover all the muscle groups. Just doing 10 is amazing. You can always do more, but at least do 5 until you get that strength and that power to lift. You want to get the strength here so that we can do some of the flips later on. Awesome. Let's do 2 more if you can. And after the last one, go ahead and come into the full dancer pose. Big belly stretch. Right? Fingertips and toes towards the floor, straight arm, straight leg. And then bend the left knee. Now see if you can swim around. This is called half lotus. One hand or both hands. So you can release the left hand once you grab the foot. You're completely balanced. Stretch the shoulders. Couple breaths here. Switch hands. See what it's like to do one-handed and then extend the right. Or hold on with the right and extend the left, but mix it up. There are different poses, there are different stretches, there are different muscle groups, and different expressions. But take some variation so you can actually stay longer in the pose with variations. Okay, great. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come to stand. So we're going to skip our inversion. Plant your left foot down. So I tricked you. And go ahead and come to stand. So we're in our one-legged side flips. So I have my toes pointing out to the left on the left foot. Right foot extended. So my right arm is free because I'm rolling my belly down towards the ground. My head is on the inside of the swing. So if your head's on the outside, you get stuck. So make sure your belly can roll towards the ground. Nice long lines of energy. This is a great stretch and a pose in itself. Okay? So go ahead, hold on to the leg loop with that right hand and lean the belly towards the ground a little bit more. It's like the warrior three, right, when we're fully extending. Okay, so keep holding on to the top of the swing. This is just basically for support. So what I'm going to do is, as I let my chest be level with the earth, I'm going to pick up my standing leg. My left leg is going to spin and go through center. And voila, we have our first trick of the day. So just try it. So keep leaning forward. Pick up your left leg and spin it through center. Yep. Spin through center. Beautiful. And we landed. Ta-da. Let's try the side. Yes, very good. Let's try the side flip on the other side. Do this about 5 or 6 times because if you're new to the practice, you know, they're flips. We have to get over our fears and stuff. So we're going to kick the left leg around. We're going to come to stand on the right. So we can just make that transition nice and smooth. So if you're all bunched up, you won't have the space to expand. So the first thing you do is extend the left leg. And now I'm going to, when I roll my belly down towards the ground, my toes are going to go out towards the right. Okay? So we got all that awesome leg opening in order to do some of these poses. Okay. Yep, you're good now. Okay, so then I have a free left hand, yeah? So go ahead and grab for the leg loop in front of you. So my belly is facing the ground. The swing is on top of the shoulder on the right side, and I'm holding on. So I want you to see I'm holding on here. And then I can extend. Long arms, long legs. This is completely unnecessary. The left hand holding onto the leg loop is just for fun, but it's nice to have the extra support. I keep rolling my belly down towards the ground. My body, my chest is level with the earth. And then I can pick up my standing leg and kick it through center and do a flip. Woo! That is so fun. All right. Yes. Let's do that a couple of times. So I'm going to come back to the first side. So we got our core nice and strong before we start to do these things, so we're not like a little accordion and like collapsing in the center. So nice long lines of energy, and then we're spinning on axis, and it's a side spin. It's getting exciting in here. Okay. Barbara's taking off her extra clothes. She's still dressed, I'm just saying. She's losing the sweatshirt. Okay. So I notice I use my forearms to press down to the waist. That's really helpful. And then when I lean back, it's in position, so I hold on to the swing and I kick that right leg up and around. And it's like I'm coming into the side planks, but I just step. So that's why I want to pick up that bottom foot and I step to center. So I make sure I can extend my right leg first Then as I roll my belly down towards the ground, notice my head's on the inside of the swing. Really important. So my toes are going to just wiggle. So it's like my gaze and my toes are going in the same direction. Okay, so this time we're going to keep our right hand free. So this hand's not doing anything. Okay, so first we let our belly and our chest be level with the earth, which means the back leg lifts, right? So it's not this, it's this. I'm holding on strongly with my left hand. So your right hand's free this time, Barbara, just try it. So as I lean forward, I pick up my left leg and I spin it through center. I have to keep leaning back in order to do it. So go ahead, roll your belly towards the ground. You got it? Yep, pick up your stick. Yep. Yeah, you don't need the leg loop. You can try it. It's all right, use the leg loop then. It's okay to use the leg loop if you need. It's an extra, like, training wheels, right? We use these as training wheels. It gives us a little something to hold on to, and that's totally okay. That's why they're there. That's why I love this design of the swing. With you have your hand holds, you have your leg loops, you have so much to hold on to. But when we're ready, we try it. We try the next level. So go ahead, let's try the second side. Take a breath. Whenever we do something exciting, we have to just breathe, right? Bring it down. So I'm using my forearms to get the swing to my waist. That's important. If it's up here, it's too high. I lean back. Let's lift the left leg, wrap it around. I hold on to the swing and I come to stand. This extension, that movement is very important. So if you're like this, it doesn't work out. Yeah. So press away. We're hooking the left leg, right foot comes down. We come to stand. I turn my toes out to the right so my chest can pour down towards the ground. I get a big shoulder stretch first. This is great in itself. And then I'm going to go ahead and let the left arm float. So left arm's not doing very much. I'm holding on strongly with the right, and then I'm just using momentum. I spin my chest towards the ground, and my foot can float through center. But if you aren't ready for that, go ahead and hold on to the swing. Yes, with the extra hand to help you lift. Okay? So one more time, we're going to do both sides. Okay? You can do it without the leg loops. It's just a fear thing, right? It's just trying something new. That's why we're going to try it one more time, and we give ourselves like a moment to play. Okay, so I'm not going to lead you through it per se. I'm just going to let you find it. So get the swing to the waist and lean back. We'll do both legs, but just take a moment to wrap around. Come to stand. Let me do the other leg first. This is good. Yeah, let's start out with the right leg. That's fine. We're going to do both, whatever is comfortable. Thank God we have two, right? And just play in this space a little bit. What is it that you need in order to flip through center? See what it is that you need. Like where do you need to put your body? Where do you need to hold on? Find the pivot points. This is how we learn the physics of the body. As you can see when I do it, it's completely effortless because I'm actually finding the pivot points and I'm letting the momentum carry me. So just watch for one and then I'll watch you, Barbara. So this is what I mean by learning physics through play, right? This is the physics part. So I'm just leaning forward and that leg is just going to flip through center. See, no effort whatsoever. So even though I'm holding on, I'm just letting the momentum carry me. Let me show you one more time. Okay? So with the right leg. And that way, when we get to that point, you're holding on very strongly with the leg loop at first, like your life depends on it, but it doesn't. So what happens is as soon as I lean forward, I pick up my bottom leg and I just spin. It's just using momentum. So go ahead and you try it and I'm going to watch you. I'll give you little pointers. Okay? Taking a pause. I'm watching Barbara on a Google video chat, so I'm going to give her a moment. And in the meantime, you guys who are watching the video at home, go ahead and try this again. Yeah, so don't hold on this time, just lean forward. Yeah. So Barbara, that was great. What I want you to do is keep your head level with the earth the whole time, because your head was up, so your body was down. So find the lever so the body stays flat and straight. So if your head comes up, your feet come down. If your head comes down, your feet comes up. So the second side, I want you to try just keeping your head level with the earth. So keep your weight heavy in the front when you go to do the flip. Yeah. Yes, like that. Yes. Yes. That's it. Yeah, but could you feel the pivot point better that time? You had to lean. Yeah. It's only fear. That's right. Very good. Okay, let's go ahead and come into our forward folds. So let's incorporate that movement into our Black Swan sequence. We're just going to warm up nice and slow with the swing at the hip flexors. Okay, lean forward. If you have to do a little bathroom break, go ahead and pause it because your bladder will tell you. At this point, I'm going to power through. But anyhow, stretch it out for a down dog. Let's just wag our tail, right? Happy dog. So my hands are coming forward off of my round mat, if you're using the round mats. So you're really stretching out here. Ground the heels energetically, even though they're not going to touch. So we're getting this nice long lift through the sit bones, like our favorite assistant is pulling us up, and then we're draping our weight down, pushing our chest towards the earth. Inhale, let's just do a couple cat's meows to warm up the spine. Inhale, open, arch. Exhale, go ahead and round in and squeeze. Inhale, up, open, arch. Exhale, round, squeeze. Inhale, lift. Now stay lifted and find your right leg out, bent knee, kick it around, and then hook. Okay, this is our one-legged dog. I'm doing this a little bit faster than normal because we're already pretty warm, but just try a couple undulations, pulling forward and pushing back. So we want to revisit gently that tightness that might exist along the back of the leg into the calf. So I find pulsing really helps. So I inhale up, lift, exhale, go ahead and press back down. And then this time when we inhale, we're going to go ahead and arch and open and straighten that right leg towards the sky. Jump the left foot towards the center. We've done our standing splits several times before, but standing splits for those that are new. Go ahead and drop the head, bend the elbows, sink in. So gravity is doing the work. If we can find our balance, then we can open up for airplane wings. Make sure you have your balance first before you try to lift your anchors. And then if you want, from airplane wings, keep diving in, clasping your hands behind your back. Pull the fingertips over the head, wiggle it a little bit, get a little bit more space in there. It's okay if you float out to the side, but stay balanced if you can. And then ground the heel, ground the heel. Very good. Now you're spring-loaded again, so really slowly come on back down. Inhale, open up and arch. So what we're going to do is a twist, right? So standing splits, twist. Left arm into the center. Right hand towards the sky. Now all I do is I reach back for the far side of the swing. So my leg is wrapped around one side, and then I reach for the opposite side. So reach up as high as you can. Put your toes out to the left, and whee! Slide right into the half moon. That never gets old. That is fun every time. Okay, reach up a little bit higher so you can float. Nice long lines of energy. Maybe you get a nice stretch through the neck. Roll the head around. Where does your neck want to stretch today? How can you go a little bit deeper each time? Belly is facing the front of the room here. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to swim this left arm up above the right. So my belly is rolling towards the sky. It's important to reach up above the right hand. That way the right hand is now free. to do a wrist wrap. Yes. Now we can float. Bend the knee if you like for Black Swan number 1. Feel pretty. Nice long lines of energy. Awesome. Whee. Okay. Let's go ahead and try our flip here. Let's do our sit and spin. Yep. So we're going to kick up, right? So we could do Nataraj again, but let's just try it. We're going to bring our left leg, your belly faces the sky, up and over, wrapped around the swing, and go ahead and lean back for a nice stretch. Now, while you're here, we're going to reach our left hand up for the swing and pull ourselves up for a sit and spin. Now notice my body has to go through center to spin out. So fun. So go ahead and bring your body through the center of the swing. So you have to get your head and your shoulders through the center and then just pull yourself up and then you'll spin out. That's it. Whee! Oh, the sit and spin is always a crowd favorite because it's so fun. So now we have 2 sides. Let's get back in. Really good, Barbara. You're doing great over there. We're going to stretch the swing down, catch your breath. I know it's very exciting. This will be our last sequence, and then we'll have a nice Shavasana. So just so you know, where are we? You can give it your all. Walk yourself into a down dog. We immediately get our happy dog involved in the action. So happy dog is swaying your tail from side to side, wagging the tail, wiggling it out. And then inhale, arch for our cat's meow. Exhale, press back and squeeze in. Let's just do 3 of those. Inhale, arch and open. Use your breath. Beautiful. Exhale, squeeze, round in. It's like a cat-cow and a down dog got together, the cat's meow. And it's the cat's meow because it feels so good. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, arch and open, and then let's go ahead and reach that left leg up. Bend the knee so it hooks outside in. See, it's on the outside of the leg loop. Push back for the one-legged dog. Now the knee is bent in, foot is close to the glutes for this first part. Most people get excited and want to extend, but let's get the stretch. If we don't open up the legs first, it's much harder to enjoy the standing splits, right? So I'm pulsing. I inhale and just come forward. I exhale and revisit and press back into that right long leg muscle, that whole connection from the heel through the calf into the hamstring and glutes. So don't miss out on that amazing stretch. I know it's exciting to go into splits, but we get the foundation prepared first. And then when we're ready, we're going to inhale and pull forward, straighten that left leg towards the sky, hop the right towards the center of the mat. You want to be right underneath your plumb line. Find your balance. So where is the balance point, right? So you can just feel your body kind of pulling you to one side or the other. Find the balance. And then drop in. So when you drop in, you can release your arms. Maybe for airplane wings, maybe overhead, clasping the fingers and pulling down towards the earth. It does require balance. I'm pulling all of the energy towards my center line. So with my legs, they're really engaged here. And then my upper body can droop down. I let my heel come down towards the ground more and get that stretch to the calf. It's amazing. Amazing. Okay. So go ahead and release. You're spring loaded. Release your hands down towards the ground. Plant the right hand in center. Reach the left towards the sky. So first we get the twist. Then we can reach back for the far side of the swing. So not the side that your leg is wrapped around, the far side. As soon as I turn my toes out to the right, I'm going to float. I pick up my bottom hand and I float out to a half moon. In my half moon, I make sure I'm stacked. So I want to get my ankle and my hip in one line. I reach up a little bit higher, and then I can actually try releasing the right hand from the floor. Stretch the neck, let it feel really good. Okay. So let's try that one more time. We're going to take our right hand, turn our belly towards the sky, reach up above the left. So the left hand can find the handhold, I like a wrist wrap here. So now I have my first black swan. There's actually 3 in the sequence, but we're just going to do 1. Beautiful. And so how can you explore and play in the space a little bit with that bottom leg? You want to reach back and grab the foot. That's a nice stretch for the hip flexor. You can turn your belly a little bit more towards the ground, or just stay in the half moon if floating isn't the best decision for today. Okay, now I'm going to come into my sit and spin. Beautiful, Barbara. I take my right leg and I kick it up and over the left. Now I'm using my left foot to press into the swing, and that gives me more lift. That's a bigger stretch. If it isn't pressed into the swing, your feet will float out behind you. That's okay too. So now that free hand, the right hand reaches up and grabs as high as it can on the swing. I use my bicep curl to pull myself through center, and then I'm going to let myself spin out. Whew. Whee. Now I did that extra super slow to try to show you all the pieces, but you can do it really fast, and it's really fun, and you get this big spin out, which is great. Woo! It's always exhilarating. That never gets old, that whole sequence. Whew. So let's get in, right? Let's get into our seated position for Shavasana. We have to grab a handful of swing and we pull it down to our knees. So nice. Now we get to go back into the cocoon and into the womb and take a moment of restoration to absorb all this goodness, right? So you're just gonna lean back and let your head be supported. I make sure that the swing is stretched above my head, because otherwise the neck will get a little strained. And then you have a few choices with the legs. I like kicking the legs up, hooking the sides of the swing, and this is a version of Viparita. I can extend my arms over my head and bend the elbows. This is just a nice way to drop in, drain any stagnant energy that might be left in the legs. And then you can also just bend the knees and bring the bottoms of the feet together for butterfly wings. So lots of different options for Shavasana. I encourage you to stay for 5 or 10 minutes. Since you have a home practice, you can really just drop in, maybe even a half hour. Stay for as long as it feels good for today. And then when you're ready to come out, just set an intention for your practice to harness these energies in your core, in your center. Keep this feeling of floating, of flying, of freedom, of expansion. Keep that with you throughout your day. I'm going to say goodbye on the video here. Thank you guys so much. Namaste.